Have you ever made a mistake in your life? If yes, please share with us the story of that mistake and how it affected your life in the comments below. Welcome to our channel where we bring you the best of African tales. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. And if you enjoy this video, please share it with your family and friends. Let's go. Do you think cutting down sacred trees is a good idea? You may need those trees for building houses or schools, but what happens when you cut down sacred trees? This is a tale as old as time. It is a cautionary tale told by our ancestors. A tale that talks about the consequences of being disobedient. A tale that has been passed down from generation to generation. I am going to tell you a story today about a village and their foolish acts. This is the story of the giant snake beneath the village, the curse that returned. Make sure to stick around because you wouldn't want to miss out on anything. There was once a village far away. The village was blessed with everything one could ask for: fertile land, enough food, clean water, and peaceful coexistence. But there was one problem that had been bugging the chief of the village for a long time. His name was Opara. He was a strong and courageous man who loved his people. One thing he disliked was the fact that his village could not be accessed easily. The only way to get to the market or other villages required passing through a thick forest, which could take between 2 to 3 hours. This did not sound like much, but it was dangerous because of the wild animals. Not only that, some parts of the road were very muddy and would delay travelers even further. Apart from that, Opara was getting tired of sending messengers to other villages, and it took too long for the messages to get there and return. One day, while walking around the village, Opara noticed that most men were sitting around, doing nothing. He called them to the town square and asked them why they weren't working on farms or in the fields. One of the men said, "We have been thinking about this too, Chief. We believe that if there was a road connecting us to other villages, trading would become easier, our farms would flourish, and we could also move faster." Opara was already thinking along these lines, so he called for a village meeting. When everyone had gathered, he stated the issue and sought their opinions. To his surprise, everyone agreed that the village needed a road. So a plan was devised and preparations were made to cut down trees and make a road. When the time came, Opara stood before the trees to be cut down and addressed them. He apologized to the trees for what was about to happen and said that it was necessary for the growth of the village. Then the men got to work, and in no time, the trees were cut down. But little did they know that beneath one of the trees lay a gigantic snake. The snake had been sleeping, but now it was awakened. It slowly slithered out of its hiding spot and watched the men carry on. It was furious because it had been disturbed from its sleep and vowed to make them pay for what they had done. That night, one of the men was awoken from his sleep. He felt something slithering on top of him. When he turned on his hat, he saw a huge snake trying to enter. He screamed for help, but the door was made of hard wood and the snake could not enter. In the morning, the villagers gathered at the town square to discuss what had happened. Opara told them to ignore the incident because it must have been an ordinary snake. But that night, another person was attacked, and this time, the snake managed to enter the hut and devour the man. Everyone panicked. They couldn't understand what was happening. Day after day, the attacks continued. No one could sleep peacefully. Some were beaten and others were strangled in their sleep. Before long, everyone started blaming Opara. They said that he had been greedy and wanted to cut down all the sacred trees. Even though Opara had warned them, They did not listen, and now it was their fault that their lives were being taken. The more people were killed, the angrier the snake became. It would coil itself around the huts and wait for someone to sleep so it could attack. To find a solution, Opara went to the village elder, Nenakua. She listened patiently, and when Opara was done, she asked him why he had not come to her earlier. Then she said, "Since you have already caused harm to the sacred tree, and you are still causing harm to the people of the village, I have no choice but to contact the tree and see what can be done." The next morning, Nenekyo went into the forest and sat under the biggest tree she could find. She apologized for what had happened to the tree and explained to the tree the predicament of the village. "Tree, I am talking to you. I am aware of the situation at hand. Please help the people of the village, or else no one will be left alive." Then Nenekyo closed her eyes and waited. After a few minutes, she heard a voice saying, "Tell them to bring me the head of the man who cut down my roots, and I will stop attacking them." Nenekyo thanked the tree and returned to the village. She explained to the people what the tree had said and asked them to bring the head of the man who had cut down the tree. They knew that the man was now dead because the snake had devoured him whole. So they sent men to retrieve his head. When the head was brought, they carried it to the forest and threw it at the foot of the tree. The tree absorbed the head, and slowly the pain subsided. The snake also vanished from that day forward. There was peace in the village again. Now, the snake did not vanish completely. It remained in the tree and blessed the village with good fortune. From that day onwards, no one dared cut down any tree in that forest. In fact, they started worshipping the tree because they knew that a kind of snake resided in it. They named it the serpent tree. Some of you might wonder, why didn't the people of the village just apologize to the tree or ask for forgiveness? Well, that's where you're wrong, because they did. However, the tree refused to forgive them unless they brought the head of the person who had cut down its roots. Why, you may ask? Because that was the only way for them to communicate with the tree, and the tree had no other way to speak to them. Sometimes you have to do things that seem unpleasant to achieve a greater purpose. It's sad that they had to bring the man's head, but that was the only way to solve the problem. Thank you for watching this episode. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please show us by leaving a like, subscribing, and commenting below. Also, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. We'd love to hear from you, so feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. We appreciate your support and can't wait to bring you more amazing stories. Until next time, stay curious. Keep exploring, and remember, the world is full of wonders. Thanks for watching.